Hello and welcome to State of the Table. My name is Ryan, also known as Rezial, and this is my weekly video series where we get a quick look at the hobby table, see what's going on, what may have changed, what may have not, if there's anything specific I can tell you all as far as developments or tips or tricks that I'm working on or anything like that. That is what this is. If you are getting any enjoyment out of the content, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with any new content that may be coming out as it happens. So this has been a really hectic week. Just really quick, I do try to keep these videos as close to 5 minutes as I possibly can. I'm going to try to do that even better today and move as quickly as I can here. So I do apologize if I'm talking a little fast, but I got a lot to go over. I left off last week hoping to get a video out, an extra one out, before a game I was going to have on Friday. Well, the plans fell through, unfortunately. We had a family emergency. My oldest son developed appendicitis starting on Wednesday, and so things got hectic fast, but we did get him to the hospital. He did come out just fine. He's going to be coming home tomorrow, so you know, big relief. Everything is good now, so all good there. But that did mean that my game was canceled. Unfortunately, we will reschedule that with Chris Chance. He's a super cool guy. But I was up until that point working on Death Guard for that game. So I did, you know, up until the point that stuff got hectic, I was actually working on them, and plans were going ahead as normal until that point. And then also, after things, you know, settled down and I was coming home from the hospital, I found a little bit more time to keep working. You know, not as much as normal, but a little bit. And so I do have that. So I'll go over that really quickly and maybe one or two other things. And so with that out of the way, let's take a look at what, if anything, has changed on the table. So I'm just gonna get this up a little higher. It is not crazy different, actually, as far as probably how it looks. It's very similar to the way it was earlier in the week, as far as the clutter and the organization and stuff like that. But I do have a lot more progress done on the models. I was actually able to, on Monday and Tuesday, get quite a bit of work done on these guys. And so, keeping in mind that a lot of them were already had a lot of paint on them. They were already to a pretty good degree, and some of them I did have to rebuild and repaint to certain degrees. Like this guy had two totally different weapon arms. Well, he had a different gun and a totally different left arm at the time. So, and then I took a lot of the parts apart and redid some things, and I never bothered to fill this gap on his cape, but that, it's not that big a deal. I added a whole extra icon bearer, so that I had two of these now. So there was one of those, basically a couple of these guys. I think this is the new one, the one here on the handle. Did a lot of kit bashing on things like blade cleavers and stuff. This is not a normal way to hold one of those, so that takes some kit bashing and work. And you know, when I go through, I don't worry about being, if I'm making some mistakes on some of this. These are game pieces, they're not display pieces, so I will go back and correct them. I have seen some excellent Death Guard painting tutorials that I would like to emulate to get that really good different high quality finishes on there. But again, for these gaming pieces, I'm not that stressed. I just want them to be nice, interesting, gaming quality. So maybe something along the lines of this, I may take them a little bit higher than the way this guy is, but this is kind of a basic goal quality for these guys, getting them on the table, and maybe a little bit extra work, because this guy was doing some experimenting on with rust effects and stuff. But doing things like getting my Myphitic Blight Haulers this up to spec. This guy was had a lot less paint on him at the beginning of the week, and so there's that. I mean, they just have real basic flesh tones too. I want to mess with those. My Lord of Virulence here was totally gray at the beginning of the week, so he's one of the ones that's seen the most work, and I've got the extra bit of his skirting off to the side in a sub-assembly. So there's that, and some parts, and so it's coming along. I'm really happy to get these guys on the table at some point. We're coming up on the 5-minute mark here. In fact, I think we just passed it. So I will try to quickly go through the last few things that I wanted to talk about here today. So I've got a couple things going on. I've got 2 things that I want to talk about briefly. One of them is we had a lot of discussion about brushes recently this week in one of the chats that I was in, and I just got back from my art store. It's like a Jerry's Artorama. For anybody who may have something like that, these are Winsor & Newton and Ruby brushes that are, these blue ones are synthetic, but they are 000 and 000. And then I have this 00 that is a natural squirrel hair brush. And these 3 brushes together from the art store cost me $12. Okay, so what I want to say about that is these are way higher quality than you get for your average mini painting brushes. They are for acrylics, so that is a normal thing. I like to find the best thing I can for the best price, either natural or synthetic fiber. And I don't like to use these tiny brushes all the time, but I have been looking at some other painting tutorials where some of the extra fancier details that I want for some display quality stuff or competition quality stuff will probably call for me needing that, because I need some extra fine points. And I'm more confident in my ability nowadays to take care of the brushes that I'm gonna get more use out of them. So hopefully that'll be a thing. So that's just a thing that I wanted to mention. You know, if you want to pick up something like a Winsor & Newton Cotman or like a Silver Ruby Satin or something like that, I highly recommend stuff like these instead of some of the mini painting stuff. Like I said, you can generally find those at art supply stores. Also, related to this Death Guard project and the Dark Angels project that I was working on before it, based on, I was very enthusiastic to get the Dark Angels going, but based on a couple other factors this year, I'm considering maybe changing my mind and focusing on Death Guard or, you know, other suggestions for my upcoming competitive sort of stint here. So, largely because the Dark Angels project is going to take a ton of time just to get it built and ready. That I don't get to put towards playtesting, that I don't get to put towards putting models in painting competitions and stuff like that. And I was sitting here thinking that perhaps, I'm not 100% decided, but perhaps it's better worth my time to do this or another project rather than try to focus on getting that, you know, stress on getting that Dark Angel army totally ready. I want y'all's feedback. Please do, if you have comments about that, if you have anything, let me know. Let me know what you think. It's a big change. It's a big change as far as like play style, as far as like things go. But you know, it's pros and cons on both sides. So let me know what you think. And then the last thing, as we're now at 8 minutes, I am considering I'm gonna be doing something interesting with this guy. I had this leftover captain. There is a project. I just wanted to say, look out for any work on this guy coming up in the future, and it may be really quick. That you'll start to see some progress on that. So I'll post that coming up soon. So do keep an eye here on the channel, also on the Instagram. The Instagram is @littleeio. That is at LITTLEIAO at Instagram. I'm gonna try to post some more like work in progress pictures up there, as well as some of the stuff from this Death Guard army and things that are happening. So that is that, and do expect State of the Table will come back to a normal schedule on more of a weekly. This is not a Sunday video, I promise. So without risk of doubling the intended runtime of the video, I'm gonna sign off for now. So that is it, y'all. Have a great week, and bye for now.